second episode. And I know so many of you guys were goddamn gnawing at your jail cell and biting your nails at the idea of when am I gonna come back. But I'm finally here. Forgive me from the beginning if the audio quality is not amazing or like I sound far away. It's because I actually need my hands to reference some things for this episode. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. My cats are cleaning up themselves a little bit, but because I'm going to be talking about worldly things, okay? Worldly things meaning my friend's expedition in the dating world, my conversation with my friend, a different friend's ex, that was spooky. Things that are going on at work that are stressing me out, and also Eurovision. Yes, I have things I want to talk about for Eurovision, and I don't really know where to start, honestly, because with the work thing, that is a pretty depressing conversation, and so I don't know if I want to put that first or last or what, but I think first I do want, you know what, let's go first with my friends' relationships and my conversation with my friend's ex. So, first of all, I have a friend who is on dating apps, and she matched with this person, and his name is Brian, okay? And so before I get into this conversation, let me give you some context. So my friend was going to do a Twilight marathon with her other friends. She invited me, but I couldn't do it because I had work. And so she accidentally, when she was trying to send a text to her friends being like, hey, we should get Thai food, sent it to this Brian guy, who Brian was like, oh yeah, sure. My friend then responds to him saying, I'm so sorry, that was meant for a different group chat, which I know it was. She wasn't playing that old, middle school trick of like, sorry, dude, that was actually meant for someone else. So he kind of got upset and at first said, okay, that's okay. And then later was like, I don't think this is going to work out between us, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I totally get it. If you're not interested, that's fine. So me and her go out to this kind of local cafe restaurant for that day. And then while we're hanging out, he goes, are you busy? She says, like right now? So I'm reading the text messages to you. You're getting it straight from the source. He goes, yeah, well, I wanted to call you and ask you some questions because I feel I didn't give you a chance to say your part. I kind of just said what I said. I wanted to get your opinion on this. She goes, I'm out studying with a friend, aka me. I can talk over text but not call. If you really prefer a call, maybe we can talk in about 2 hours. Then he sends a link to a ChatGPT conversation he had with ChatGPT titled Breaking Up Respectfully. Now, I also have the recording of what he said fully in that, but it pretty much was about how to let someone down who you think you're not going to get, it's not going to work out with, but you do really like her, so you want to be respectful. And at some point, he gets a little angry with ChatGPT because he doesn't like the way ChatGPT is framing things. And you'll see later, he's definitely quirky. So he sends that, and he goes, it took me a while to find the right thing to say, but this is how I am. Thanks for at least replying back. I hope you had a good day. And okay, sure, that's fine. If you don't think this will work, just tell me right now. I don't want to lead you on. But I also don't want you to beat around the bush. If you've got something else going on with someone else or on a date with anyone else, I'd feel more comfortable dropping this completely. Sorry, that was a lot. I really needed to get that out of my system in a respectful way. Mind you guys, she's known him for a week. This is giving okay, he wants to become exclusive type of thing, and you've known each other for a few months. No, she's known him for about a week. And so she goes, were you ending things because you felt like I wasn't interested in you? I thought you didn't want to continue pursuing this because you did not feel like we matched. He goes, no, because I got annoyed that you sent me that message the other day, and overall I was just skeptical. And the message he's talking about is the one. Oh my God. Sorry, my cats they have to do it right now, huh? It's the message of, the Thai food. I trust my gut feeling more often than not, and it turns out I can usually track real things accurately. That's where I'm at. So she goes, I genuinely respect... Okay, actually, what's funny is I low-key texted through her. So some of these are my words, and I just remember that. She goes, I go, I genuinely respect that you trust your gut instincts, and I believe you should continue that. But I say this genuinely and honestly, it truly was meant for my friend, a female friend at that. I was going between our conversation and hers. As for us, I thought this was casual and we didn't discuss what we were pursuing. He goes, okay, then I'll call it off now if what you're saying is to trust my gut instinct. And I don't doubt it was to her. The fact it happened and you dismissed it threw me off. And if you're saying this is casual, then I'm assuming you're casually doing the same thing with someone else if you haven't already since talking to me. So now we're at a crossroad. I really wanted your opinion, but you're saying yes or no to this. So what is it? She goes, just for clarification, you're wanting my opinion about us, correct? If so, well, no, I'm not seeing somebody else. I don't have the time or energy for that. I barely like continuously texting people or texting them all day long. Which is true, she is not a great texter. He goes, tell me if I tracked this correctly. I won't judge you. I literally just need to know. Like, I'm not upset, but does what I'm saying track in a real way? She goes, not at all. But I do think your feelings are valid. I can understand why you felt and perceived it the way you did. I had a feeling you thought I had sent that text out on purpose. He goes, let me make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. He goes, okay, but now at all? It just gets me thinking. What are your final thoughts? Where are you at us? Where are you at with this? Sorry, I made this a whole thing. I have to do all this and let it out of my system. Otherwise, later on, things get weird and I shut off and start being mean, and I don't want to be that way ever again. He goes, thanks for listening, by the way. She goes, unfortunately, your gut was 100% off this time. I'm willing to give it another go, but def have to redeem yourself. Anything else that threw you off or that you want clarification on? He goes, you haven't answered my question yet. She said, okay, send me one question at a time so I can respond to each individual. What question have I not responded to? He goes, is there anything else you think I should be getting clarification on? If there is, say it, please, so we can be on the same page. I appreciate you communicating with me this way. And okay, deal, I'll make it up to you. She goes, I thought I clarified that earlier. No, I don't have the time or energy for that. I'm too busy and I don't find most people interesting, so I don't care to talk to them. He goes, okay. I got it out of my system now. I think I'm good. If anything else comes up, I'll communicate with you. He goes, stop. She goes, huh? Don't do that. That LOL, because it feels like you're upset with me. Bitch, by the way, she thumbs up. She thumbs up him saying, I got it out of my system now. I think I'm good. She goes, okay, I've had a really long few days. This has nothing to do with you, but I just need some time right now. He goes, so stop talking for the night? She goes, yeah. She goes, also just thought I should put this out there / let you know I'm not sexually active at the moment, and I don't know when I want to do that. Sorry, I didn't read that right. When I do want to. It's not exactly like I'm waiting until marriage, but it's subject to change. He goes, thanks for letting me know. Good night. And then he goes, you're giving me weird signals and I'm getting all weird vibes again. Maybe we should officially call it. She goes, okay, I respect that. He goes, so yes. She says, hey, I'm just going with the vibe. If you'd like some time to think about what you'd like, go ahead. I just wanted to let you know because that's something that people usually aren't willing to deal with. And she goes, may I ask why you texted today? He goes, to get things straight. And that's not all I want from you. OMG. Yeah, I used OMG, LOL. Guys don't say that, huh? Yes, everyone, if you're physically cringing right now, that is totally fine. I felt that shift in the air too. That was hard for me to read. So then he replies to something, because there's like 4 in there, so I'm not going to figure it out. But it says, he goes, that's just a side thing, but that's not the whole thing. So don't worry. I see you differently than I see most girls. I'm so serious. And maybe that's why I'm uncomfortable and frustrated. but I just get weird vibes, and you keep telling me to trust my gut, but my gut says you're just in a phase where you want to hang out with boys and do your own little thing, you know? Guys, I can't do this. And honestly, I don't want to stop that for you, you know? It makes sense to me. But also, you just say the wrong things at the wrong time. So that throws me off and annoys me. And then I'm back to wanting to cut everything off right away. Good night. Let's talk tomorrow. The deal is still on, by the way. Rest well. She goes, good night, Brian. And she goes, LOL, I'm definitely not in a phase where I just want to hang out with boys. I told you that I'm very uncomfortable with males. Most are weird, lame, or just so non-special. LMFAO. And she goes, what wrong things do I say? And that's kind of where the screenshot gets cut off. Unfortunately, she did hang out with him one more time. And he did the same thing where he's like, wait a minute. Where's the message? Hold up, guys. There's a whole different part that's missing. Whoa. Where's the mirror loop method? Yes. Oh, there it is. Why did I didn't say that right. Oh, okay. So this is where he's like, and yes, about us continuing this, I'm overthinking things, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I can track things down using my own mind. I deadass discovered a new method of discovery, and I finally formally named it. It's called the mirror loop method. I just want to get things aligned before we move forward. I'm super like this, and I used to be worse. And I'll let you know you're going to have to be patient with me. I'm very different from most people. That's where I'm at. So that I missed that part. I think I skipped too far ahead, but that was in the middle of that conversation. And so, I don't know. It's rough, and they're not talking anymore at all, but it seems like he's always just assuming the worst in her. But I've never met someone jump to conclusions as far and as outlandish as I've seen him. So that's why I felt like talking about that. Anyways. Now to the next text conversations I have. This is with my friend's ex-boyfriend. And she had been with him since, I want to say, sophomore year of high school. And they finally cut things off after a bunch of back and forth. And let me just say, this was not a good relationship. It was never going to lead to anything good. And overall, he was one of those guys who says he'll change and then is very lazy and doesn't do any of the things he says he's going to change. And after a certain point, my friend was like, I'm done. We're going no contact. I don't want to talk to you. So he had sent her like 2 emails pretty much that were bogus, and he's like, oh, I know I should change, and I now know exactly what you want, so I will do that. And my friend didn't respond. So he finally reached out to me this time. So I was at work. So this was May 1st. He sends me, and we don't have this kind of like casual conversation. We're not casually like friends. I only spoke through her, and he would only text me if it was like, hey, can you open the door for me when we live together? Like when me and my friend live together. Can you open the door? I want to or is Rachel talking to you type of thing. So, or when they get into arguments. He goes, could you please tell Rachel, oh fuck, her name is Rachel. I already shared it. Could you please tell Rachel to text me, please? I need to talk to her. I said, is something wrong? Because I was like, what the hell is going on? Did someone die? Like, is this something that I actually will determine, you know what, this guy does need to talk to her. I'm going to call him redacted. So he goes, no, nothing's wrong. You don't have to even tell her I texted you. But I would really appreciate it if she could just text me for just 5 minutes even. Sorry to bother you. This was just one of the only ways I could think of to maybe get a hold of her. I go, I'm sorry, redacted, but I don't think it's smart for either of you to talk. And I know she also isn't interested in talking. And he goes, that's fine. You don't have to tell her. I understand. And guys, I need you guys to put on all of your cringe gear right now, because I did something cringy. I did a big mistake that still sends shivers down my spine. I was texting my friend while texting him about like, what the hell? Like, what should I do? And she's told me, hey, like, can you like send me a picture? If you guys already know where this is going. I sent the picture to him. I sent a picture of our conversation to him. I tried to delete it. I hope he didn't see it. He probably did, but you know what? I don't care. Because he had put her through enough, and he deserves to just say, hey, who the hell are you texting? You're texting your friend's friend. Sorry, your ex-girlfriend's friend. Freaking loser. Okay, why is my cat doing that? So he goes, again, sorry for bothering you. Have a good rest of your day. And I said, no, it's okay. It wasn't a bother. Speaking as someone who was more you than Rachel in my own relationship, I think you should really learn to love yourself and your own company. Grow as a person because it's good for you, not for someone else. He goes, I definitely enjoy my own company and feel I would rather grow as a person for myself, which I don't believe, guys. I don't believe this. It's more, I just miss her a lot and have really been struggling to get her out of my mind. And I say, trust me, I understand that sentiment. But what makes you want to keep choosing to reach out to someone who has made it clear they don't want to see you or talk to you? I said, as someone who has asked someone that didn't want me to take me back, I can look back and say that it was a lack of self-respect and mistaking attachment/insecurity with love. He goes, because I really do love her and always will. So I want to try everything I can. I don't want to just see her go out of my life knowing there was more I could have tried. And this is the last thing. He didn't respond to this. I really sympathize with you, redacted, but I think you've already done what you could for the near future. If anything, further reaching out to her might upset her more and continue a negative view of you for her. The truly best thing you can do is continue working on yourself, explore other long-term relationships, and try your best as a partner. You'll meet equally great or even better people. Rachel is my friend, and I deeply love her, but she has her flaws and needs to unlearn things from her own past, whether that's family or you. For there to even be a remote chance of things working out between you in the far future, you'll have to almost be a different person, and Rachel will need to completely detach from your past relationship. That is not going to happen anytime soon for either of you. So my friend Rachel was a little jaded that I didn't absolutely roast the shit out of him when he texted me, but I always knew that if he did reach out to me, I wanted to just try one Hail Mary and maybe get through to him as someone who, crashed out during their own breakup. And they're not even... Yeah, I guess I had an easier time, but I don't know. I just hoped that maybe getting to him, speaking to him hey, let's do it. You and me, we got this. I'm doing good. You'll do good too. I don't know. I just really thought, I was hoping hearing someone maybe not feed into his idea or whatever would possibly help, but I don't know. He hasn't texted her. He hasn't texted me. He hasn't emailed her or anything like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. But those are my relationship updates. Though there's other relationship issues that are surrounding not me, but the people I know. But I don't have concrete proof text to paint a good narrative of what's going on. But let's go on to the real thing, the real conversation. Eurovision 2025. So I actually wrote down some of these are in the moment, true reactions. Some of them I did, look back on after seeing who won the finale or who made it into the semifinals. So I'm going to go just based off of each semifinal and then kind of talk about my takes on Eurovision 2025 and how I feel about the grand finale results. So if you do not like Eurovision, get into it. I don't know. But if you're not into it, I will talk later about other things in my life that maybe will interest you more. But this is for my people who do want to talk about Eurovision, because I have no one to talk about Eurovision with that I personally know. So you guys are going to have to unfortunately live as my outlet. Okay? So, semifinal 1. In semifinal 1, there was Iceland, Poland, Slovenia, Estonia, Spain, Ukraine, Sweden, Portugal, Norway, Belgium, Italy, Azerbaijan, San Marino, Albania, Netherlands, Croatia, Switzerland, and Cyprus. And then out of these, if I remember, I think Spain goes ahead immediately. Correct me if I'm wrong, because there's the big 6. Spain goes ahead immediately. And then Italy goes ahead immediately. Switzerland went ahead immediately. I think maybe the winning I don't know if Switzerland always goes ahead immediately or if it was just because they were the winning country. Sorry, I'm not like well versed in Eurovision. And then yeah, so let's go semifinal 1 first. And I actually have little quick tidbits of like my first reactions to semifinal 1. Iceland. I didn't really care for it. I even wrote cute but nothing special. I said it's very on brand for Iceland, kind of like tacky, but either way, I just didn't particularly enjoy it. And would this have been would I have qualified them? No. Me personally, no. Now, Poland, I wrote kind of vibe with and want to spin with them. If you've seen the performance, you'll know. She kind of just spins and goes, ah! And that's what I want to do watching. I actually enjoyed the song. I still listen to it after the fact. So, yeah. Do you guys hear my cat purring? I don't know. Slovenia. I wrote, it's a slow one, so probably won't like. So this is my literally immediate reaction. And then I wrote, why is he upside down? So obviously nothing of actual substance, but I did not enjoy Slovenia's song, and I was not surprised at all that it did not qualify, unfortunately. Estonia. So Estonia, I think that's going to be in my takes. I don't understand why it did so well. It got 3rd place in the finale. I did not like Estonia's song. I am not a big fan of kind of like people doing bits. So I don't know. His whole bit of being like nonchalant or whatever just kind of was like, whatever, you're kind of annoying. And I just didn't like the song. It felt empty when I heard it like live. It felt empty. The performance felt empty, and just overall, I did not enjoy any of it. Spain, forgettable. I mean, I even wrote, I said a good start, but turned into club music. Wrote, even if instrumental is meh, voice eats. Like, I think vocally she did good, but overall a very forgettable song. I do not play that song at all. Ukraine. Birds of Prey. I absolutely love that song. I wanted to pretend like I hated it. I can't even do it. I love that song. So many people had bad things to say. They were like, oh my god, this is gonna be the first time Ukraine doesn't qualify. I loved it. I even wrote, here are my thoughts. I wrote, I'm actually really enjoying the song. And then I wrote, his live voice could be cleaner. And I do stand by that. Even his audio version, I believe the main vocalist, if anything brought down the song, it would be the vocals, because it didn't feel strong. And not all songs have to have a strong vocal, but even when you're doing like an airy, like light voice, I still want it to feel solid air. So I didn't get that from the main singer, but overall, I truly loved that song, and it was like in my top 5. Sweden, I wrote, yeah, decent song with good vocals. I did, if I was going for, I'm not a big fan of those like silly, songs, which is very typical for Eurovision. But I did, if I was going to pick a quote silly song, I would have picked Sweden's. I thought they had a good vocal. I thought they had a good instrumental. It was like well produced, in my opinion, and also was catchy. So I mean, it'll still pop up in my head sometimes. Portugal, I wrote, not a winner for me, but very much a cute vibe. I thought it was a very cute song. I wasn't horribly disappointed that they got in, but thinking of like who could have gotten in, I did feel a little disappointed. But no, if for anyone who did watch Eurovision, if you saw that lineup during the semifinal 1, I think it was like Portugal, Azerbaijan, and I don't know if it was Iceland or who it was. That was a horrible lineup. I was like, oh my god, out of those 3, I don't want any of them to really qualify, so this sucks. Like, I know someone good that I enjoyed will not get it, but that was a crazy one for sure. Norway, little baby Kyle. I wrote very K-poppy, so I kind of like it. It did feel very nostalgic in the sense of like K-poppy. And I said I'd be surprised if it didn't pass to the final. I enjoyed it, but I knew that like even when I was hearing it, that it felt like something that would probably make it to the final. Belgium. I wrote, what the hell, this is a head bop. Would go so hard if I was high. I enjoyed Strobe Lights by Red Sebastian, and I was utterly shocked and gutted that Strobe Lights did not make it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. Italy, which was one that was going to pass, or either way. I wrote a nice song with the old school 70s or 60s vibe. Now, there's going to be a lot of me being like this or that because I don't actually know music. So I'm just guessing on what it sounds like. But I don't know. I just felt, I really enjoyed it. It kind of felt like, maybe not Beatles, but you know, if someone please defend me. It felt like an old school 70s little, like, I don't know, chill rock vibe. Azerbaijan. So I wrote, vocals are a little rough. Overall, the song is fairly catchy. It's okay to sing in your register, bro. He really did not have to sing that high if he couldn't. And through his live performance, I don't really know if I heard that many times where he did land his note, even in the verses. So it was very disappointing because I feel like Azerbaijan tends to not do too hot in Eurovision, and so I'm always like, I don't know. Yeah, they just didn't do good. For San Marino, this is another one that I didn't enjoy as much as other people did, but at the same time, even though it made it to the finale, it was like in last place, so I guess there's that. I wrote, very Eurovision, not my style. I have nothing to say. I didn't enjoy it. That's it. Albania. I wrote, on brand for Albania, and I eat it up every time. Balkan folk tones is what I wrote. So Albania's song I really liked. Instantly, I really enjoyed it. So I don't even know what to say. Go listen to it. It was a really good song. Actually, it's French and even makes me feel like I'm listening to France 2024. Like, it was just French, and I actually didn't really like Netherlands' song. I didn't really like Netherlands' submission this year, so there's that. Croatia. Oh, Croatia was another baby. I wrote, not bad at all, a little 2010 sounding. Poison Cake, it just felt very 2010s, and I was kind of surprised they didn't make it, but I don't know, I always feel bad when people don't make it, so. Switzerland. Fucking French sounds again. Pretty good, though. So I think this was Voyage by Zoe or something like that. I actually did like that song. I'm not a big ballad person, but like, this was a fairly good ballad. Cyprus. I wrote, they love a good club song over in Cyprus. Hush, hush, hush is what I wrote. Cyprus, I think Belgium did a better job of like a queer club song, but Cyprus it definitely still gave that Eurovision club, European type vibe, and I was kind of surprised to see that they did not make it to the finale, so there's that. Semi-final 2. Australia went first in this one. So let me actually go through the countries that we're going to talk about. Australia, Montenegro, Ireland, Latvia, Armenia, Austria, United Kingdom, Greece, Lithuania, Malta, Georgia, France, Denmark, Czechia, Luxembourg, Israel, Germany, Serbia, and Finland. So, Australia. All I wrote was funky and fun and nice body, LOL. Like, it was a nice synth pop song, you know, and he had a good body. So, again, this was in the same vibe. Like, if you're going to do a quirky little fun song, I thought it was it was pretty good. I mean, it was catchy, and I don't know, I was really surprised it did not make it, but at the same time, I feel like Eurovision doesn't tend to like Australia and the UK, so there's just that. Montenegro, I wrote, my white blood cells. Oh no, a voice crack. Still great vocals. Like, yeah, she had great vocals, but it was, again, forgettable. It was, I don't know, I don't think of it. I really don't. Ireland, I said, is this 90s Europe? And then question mark 70s. I don't know which club songs this one goes for. It felt like 90s, 2000s for me because it gave me the same vibes of like, does anyone remember that song that goes like, bunny party? Sorry, that was really bad. Or like the ay, like it gave that club like that like Swedish type of bullshit. For those who need context, Ireland did this little club number called Laika Party. Laika meaning the dog that was sent by the Russians to die up in space. And then so I wrote, shouldn't the Russians be singing this? Which the Russians can't, because you can't participate in Eurovision anymore, which is surprising because there's some other people I would say shouldn't be participating, but it is what it is. Latvia. Oh my god, Latvia. What Ukraine's like Zyferblatt was missing in Birds of Prey, Latvia did with their vocals. It was ethereal. It like gave me the same etherealness of Birds of Prey, but the vocals of those women, they stuck through it and they did amazing. Latvia, it was beautiful. I wrote, okay, they are eating this up. And I wrote, playful forest fairy ass song. Love Latvia song. It's a no skip. I don't skip that in Birds of Prey. I do not skip. When it plays, I will be listening. Armenia. I wrote this after Latvia is crazy. Unfortunately, lacking in general. This one is the one that's like, what? So I'm a survivor or some shit like that. It was just pretty lame and I was shocked. I was utterly stunned that it made it, but whatever. Austria. I wrote, what I think I sound like with Wicked. Dance opera genre unlocked. So this is still like popra, kind of like last year's winner. Great vocal, but did it deserve to win? Over Israel? Sure. If I had to pick between the top two, which was, even the top three with Estonia, it was Austria, Israel, and Estonia. I would pick Austria, but I would have not put those three at the top in the first place, so whatever. United Kingdom, I liked their submission, which I guess last year I was literally one of the only few people that liked UK submission too. But it was very 2010s, but it was 2010s in such a good way, almost like in a Fifth Harmony way. And I wrote Sing Girls, so there's that. But Greece, I wrote good vocals, but not an extraordinary song. Like, she did a good job. She looked cute in those glasses. But do I even remember how the chorus goes? No. So there's that. Lithuania, I wrote very nostalgic grunge, alt rock, gothic rock, This is me trying to figure out which of the goddamn rock vibe it is. I said, makes you want to look at some dark clouds and act emo. I actually really liked Lithuania's performance. And so this was one submission that I would have thought wouldn't have made it. But when they made the finale, it was like, you know what? They really deserve it. So that was fine. Malta, I wrote chorus lacking compared to verses. The balls didn't feel needed, lol. Malta's submission is one that I'm a little salty that it made it. Because again, if we're going to go based off of queer club music, I would have picked either Belgium or Cyprus over Malta, but whatever. Georgia, powerful song, and honestly I vibe with it. Unexpected instrumentals, ? I really like Georgia's song, and I still do. So would I pick this over some of the other ballads? 100%. France, I wrote 2024 did better if you're always okay, a little mean. I wrote 2024 did better if you're gonna send another ballad like always. And then I wrote, okay, on second listen, it's a good song. I actually did enjoy it more, the audio version than I did live. Like, I just think live it was a little lacking, but when you hear it, like on Spotify or whatever, it's a good song. Denmark, I wrote not a winner and pretty boring. Just a very overdone stage and vibe. Like, it's just like there's so many times where I see a woman come on stage and I'm like, okay, I've heard this maybe every single other Eurovision before. And this was what Denmark felt for me. And so when Denmark won, they didn't win. When they got to the finale, it's another like, we really gave up a good spot. We gave up our spot for fucking BS. Czechia. Oh no, he missed that entrance. Yeah, there was a part where I think there was like a silence and then it goes to the chorus and he missed that. So he had to like hurry to catch the same, go back on the track. But that was a little rough just for me personally. But I wrote very random dance break. Yeah, I felt like that dance break compared to how the song was going didn't make any sense. So Czechia didn't make it to the finale, and unfortunately I didn't feel too surprised. Luxembourg, I wrote, also sounds K-poppy and nostalgic. Not an instant like, but catchy. Like, Luxembourg's verse and stuff like that were good. The chorus was it's like that thing that makes you feel more nostalgic and just feels very like European. But I do enjoy it. I actually did like that song. It's like one of those where like after the competition, I'm like, okay, that was a pretty good song. Israel, I wrote not a very tasteful song for their war crimes. Objectively not bad, but not like wowing me. And then I wrote, apparently she survived October 7th, so makes sense. Like, makes sense that she's singing like a new day will rise. Like, but it's fine. It was good. I'm not saying she was a bad singer at all. Like, politics aside, unfortunately, even though this is Eurovision, politics play a big role. I think she did a good job, but I enjoyed Georgia's performance more than Israel's, and Israel got second place, which we know it's probably from people who don't even watch Eurovision voting. But aside, yep, that made total sense. Germany, I wrote super Berlin entry from Germany, and then I wrote, as a joke, oh, I mean Austria, because they're from Austria, the two siblings. I wrote fun chorus, but uninteresting verses and very boring performance. So this song I really wanted to like, because I really vibe with the chorus so much. Okay, sorry. No, we're not doing that. But the performance, like, it's okay to not just have her stand there with some lights. You know, it's okay to almost make it seem like a club, but it doesn't help that the verses just like mellow everything down to the point where like I feel like I'm taken away from the club vibe. So that's that for me. Serbia, this also was very much giving me like powerful Korean ballad from back in the day. I said good, but not like crazy amazing. But I think Serbia deserved a little more love, for sure. Serbia and Georgia deserved a little goddamn more love. I'm not saying Serbia should have made it to the finale, but Serbia did a really good job, and I feel like more people need to be angry that Serbia didn't do good. Finland, I said fun and catchy. I said, if you're gonna make an LGBTQ bait song, do it like this. So this was for me to Malta, honestly. I was pissed at Malta. I love Erica, you did a great job. Ich komme, and what am I saying? Ich komme. That was a really good song. I actually still enjoy that song a lot. So, yeah. And so, I have the freaking grand finale results on my little book, but overall, I'm not too upset with the ratings. I think Poland could have gone way better than they did. Poland, Latvia, and okay, so here, let me just list out the top 10. Austria was number 1, 2 is Israel, 3 Estonia, 4 Sweden, 5 Italy, 6 Greece, 7 France, 8 Albania, 9 Ukraine, 10 Switzerland. Which is crazy because Switzerland got 0 in the jury vote. So what they have is not jury vote, the televote. So all they have is jury vote, and they got in the top 10. But for me, Austria, Israel, Estonia, maybe even Greece, France. I'm just very biased towards Poland and Latvia having done much better. And maybe even United Kingdom. But that's that. So my Eurovision takes, I wrote Austria didn't give me winner. We'll take that over Israel though, and Popra won yet another year. I wrote, why was Estonia's entry so popular? And I said, so this is what I said before. I said Belgium and Cyprus did better at queer club music than Malta. Georgia and Serbia could have taken Netherlands' spot. I didn't like Netherlands. Undeserving. Oh my gosh. San Marino, Malta, Armenia, Estonia, Israel, and Iceland. And I wrote for the undeserving spots, I said Australia could have definitely taken a spot. Like, if you're going to put a silly song in, I don't even find Australia Australia song silly necessarily, but it was enjoyable. I had fun. Portugal was a good song, but was it Eurovision good? So that was my deal, because when Portugal did make it, which was a shocker, I feel like, to a lot of people, it was like, it's a good song. Like, every time I hear it, I'm like, this is a very like enjoyable song, but it almost doesn't fit the vibe of what I would expect in Eurovision. So I just was shocked to see that it passed through. I said Ukraine's song was like top 5 and deserves no hate. If you didn't like it, but did like Estonia's song, you know nothing about music. So yeah, I ride for Birds of Prey. I ride for that goddamn song, because I was trying to find Reddit threads of like, hey, this song is good. And people are like, oh my God, I don't get it. I don't like this song. And I'm like, okay, maybe not that. I was going to jokingly say yourself, but no, don't do that. It's just Eurovision. But it's like, I feel so, guys, that and Latvia song, it brings something in me, specifically Birds of Prey though. It gives me this like nostalgic like anime vibe. I don't know if anyone else can agree. I feel like I'm a kid or like a middle schooler watching anime again, and like a beautiful scene just comes on and this song just plays and I'm pulled in. I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little far with that, but I just had so much fun with Birds of Prey, and also, yeah, Latvia, so beautiful. How can you not vote for that song? How can you not freaking vote for that song? I don't understand. I'm so worked up. I don't even know if I want to talk about my issues at work. Because the only thing that's really happening that's been stressing me out is that there's this family, or by family I mean there's a foster mother, and I work in a Head Start program. So I work with kids who, you know, need that bump in their life, whether it's social emotional skills, just very one-on-one type stuff. But I work in the family kind of aspect of it. So I don't have to interact with the kids. I choose to literally go in there every single day because they make me so happy. But I mainly just work with the families. And so I'm so sorry. I'm laughing at my cat who has her back turned to me and just has her face right up at the front door. I don't know why she's doing that. But sorry, this is so funny. But anyways, this foster mother is taking care of these 4 siblings, 2 of which go to our Head Start program. And, you know, they're in separate classrooms though. So, and these kids have gone through so many foster parents, and just have faced a lot of turmoil in their life and abuse, whether it's from their own biological mom or any foster parents. And this foster mother, with me and this other family worker who's like manages the siblings classroom, we have noticed this foster mother has a very kind of old school way of, you know, parenting, and just is very mean, unaffectionate, and also like loud, and says shut up to the kids. And she has some other like foster children too that are like young babies. They're just babies. We saw them at a home visit. But the issue is that we have these little, you know, annoyances, or I want to call them, you know, for what it is. It's like, feels like verbal abuse. But the issue is that case managers and you could say like CPS, like the system is already visiting this foster mother all the time. Not for like bad reasons, but because like these kids literally need like treatment social workers. So if we called CPS perchance, let's say, it wouldn't really matter too much because the system is already in there. Hey, no. Sorry, guys. And so one day, I guess the girl, so not my, you know, there's an older brother, then a sister, then a brother, then a sister. I have the little brother, and my family worker, my coworker, has the girl, the older girl. And they're like 4 and 3 years old. So I don't know what happens, but the foster mother comes in, brings the girl. But actually, the foster mother told this girl, hey, go downstairs to the classroom and like go in there. But the teacher is like, where is your foster mom? You need to, have her come in to sign you off. Like, you can't just come in there, like, go back outside. And the girl, because literally that same weekend got freaking verbally abused by her own biological mother, because they go over there, saw her brother get abused by biological mother, is already stressed out. So she starts crying, but she's trying to stop herself from crying so that this foster mother doesn't see. But foster mother ends up seeing, and pretty much absolutely like verbally like yells the shit out of her in the hallway, to the point where apparently some parents even complained to the teachers, I don't know if it's through email or later, being like, this is not okay, like we did not like that at all. So that happened, and the teachers are like, hey, like telling my coworker, oh, this is like really, that was bad, like maybe we should call CPS. But me and my coworker, this is like our first situation like this, and we're hearing from other people, hey, this is not the worst thing we've ever seen, like this family is not the worst thing we've ever seen, and so we are being told so many different things that are not the same. And in my head, it's like, if you want to call CPS so bad, why are you so afraid to do it yourself? Like, why are you making this new coworker of mine take this, task on her own, when we don't know when exactly to call CPS, like when it is okay to call CPS or not, because we know, again, the system is already working with this foster mother. And it seems like even the treatment social worker is like, oh, the little girl in the classroom, oh, she's not manipulative, like, oh, she doesn't do this, because foster mom has made this big deal that these kids are manipulative and like know how to use people or whatever. And I'm like, so even if let's say it's true that these kids are manipulative, let me be manipulated by a kid, I don't even care, okay? But whatever. And so then a few days later, literally a week later, I decide I'm going to start going out during their recess time, because that's when both of the siblings, the classes, go outside to play recess. So, I can, under the guise of hanging out with my classroom, I can also kind of see how she's doing, and, maybe build like a relationship to make sure she knows that there's people that do care for her, And so I'm hanging out with her, and something happens where this other little girl in my classroom was playing with this sandbox item, and she had told the teacher to like watch over it while she does something else. But this little girl that the one that has gone through a lot, goes up to it and starts playing with it. So the girl in my classroom starts crying, which causes this girl to kind of get triggered, get upset, and say, I'm not going to play with this thing anymore. And she goes up to the brick wall that is our building, and kind of looks very angry. And she starts taking her hand, and she lifts it up and drags it down the brick wall multiple times, and saying that she's cutting herself so that she can bleed. Because like that's what, this other little girl, and that's what we want. Which is not the case, of course. And I'm trying to stop her from hurting herself. And literally after maybe a minute of this, and while she's like trying to kick her foot onto the wall to say she's hurting herself too, I was able to finally distract her, like say like, no, we don't want you to get hurt. Like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. And, finally I made her do the little kid thing where she shows me how smart she is by counting all the wooden pieces and, in the playground and whatnot. But it was a very concerning thing. And what made it worse was that a teacher, one of the, I guess, teacher's aide in the classroom, who I, speak to, were on good terms, saw that along with me. We were the only two people that had seen it. And so she was very concerned. She was like, I don't want this girl to kill herself. Like, I'm going to tell the foster mom. In my head, and with the family worker of my coworker, like my coworker, we're not going to tell foster mom. We're going to maybe try to talk to, we first wanted to see, hey, my supervisor, what the hell, what's the best course of action? Like, we want to get like a second opinion. But we wanted to tell like a social worker or something rather than the foster mother, because it was gonna go two ways. Either this little girl was going to get yelled at again, or the foster mom will be like, oh, I don't care. So either way, it didn't feel productive, and we thought it'd be better to go to the the foster caseworker. At the end of the day, things didn't really go our way, and both the foster mother and the social worker learned about it. But there's still updates with that family, and there's a possibility that the foster mom just kind of wants to rid herself of the issues with this family, because to be fair, the biological mom has in the past with other families and with this current foster family called CPS for who knows what, but just always on baseless reasons. And so it's a weird mix of, do I believe that this foster mother is a good foster mom for kids who have dealt with insane trauma? No. But do I also agree that it is very hard to find foster parents who will house all four children, like all four siblings? Yes, of course. But you know what? After kind of meeting the kids and, seeing their needs, I don't know if the smartest thing is for them to all be in the same house if they're all hurting each other anyways. And it is this situation and this family has caused me not a lot of stress necessarily, but it has made me less optimistic / like gloomier than I am usually, which is probably why I've taken so long to record something, because it's like, one, there wasn't a lot going on in my life, but two, I just didn't feel an energy to really talk. I still really don't, but I do feel bad, and after Eurovision I did feel a little more of a burst of energy to say something. But yeah. Also, I'm turning 23 in 2 days. Yay! I guess I don't know if it's going to be 2 days by the time I post this. Hopefully I'll post this like right after. But I'm going to be turning 23. Yay! Happy birthday to me. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to see where life takes me. I'm so sorry if this episode is boring. I actually recorded a different episode a while ago for the second episode, and it was so bad because, again, nothing was going on in my life, so I just was talking about what I learned in different documentaries. And if one day need be I post that, maybe it'll be like a 2.5 episode or something like that. Leave in the comments below if you really want to hear me ramble about documentaries that I'd seen at that moment in my life, because then I'll post it. But otherwise, yeah, this is the episode. I'm so sorry, guys. This was such I had thought behind it, but it was still like a thoughtless episode. I hope you at least enjoyed one aspect of it. I don't know. Leave your nudes in the comments. I don't even care. Do whatever you want. This is a safe space regardless. And see you with the next one. Bye.